How's it going, Goomy Gang? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing awesome. Sorry for my lack of uploads last week. Things got a little crazy on my end, but I'm back. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. So we just got to get right back into all the shotgun goodness we always talk about. And today's video is going to be a little bit fun because we're talking about a shotgun that I've always found to be a bit awkward for a few different reasons, but this is the Expedite 12. This is sort of a weird hybrid between a spammy shotgun and a pump action shotgun. And while it may feel a little awkward at first, I'm telling you guys, there's just a certain way to have to use it. And if you understand it, you can do some major damage with this thing. I'm telling you. So let's talk about the Expedite. If you want to hop to a certain part of the video, go ahead and check the timestamps in the description below. With all that being said, let's just go ahead and hop right into it. So one of the interesting things about this gun is that it shoots faster than a pump action, but it's not quite as fast as something like a Haymaker or a KV broadside. So it's kind of this in between. It kind of feels similar to the Einhorn revolving shotgun from Vanguard, if you remember that thing. Now, one of the great things about the Expedite is it has a 2-shot potential with its fire rate that is really, really nice. And when I say nice, I mean its time to kill is very good. If you put on the Expedite L-Bolt to get the faster fire rate, which I always recommend, your 2-shot time to kill is 400 milliseconds, which is really, really good. And you're going to be deleting a lot of people pretty easily up close as long as you're kind of hitting your shots well and tack stancing or aiming down sights. Now, the problem is with the base Expedite, which is really nothing amazing in my opinion, your 2-shot really only excels out to about 3.3 meters. And then outside of that, it's a 3-shot and then a 4-shot. It's not super good. You don't have a great 3-shot range, and the 4-shot very inconsistent, and it takes way too long to kill. For every shot you miss, it's another 400 milliseconds on top of your time to kill, which is very bad. So the secret here is using Dragon's Breath, because with Dragon's Breath, your 2-shot goes from about 3 meters to 5.1, and your 3-shot kill is also increased out to 10.4, so now it feels more like a typical pump action. But of course, the really nice thing being here, that up close and personal, you can actually shoot fast and get that time to kill of 400 milliseconds with a 2-shot, which is really nice. And again, with Dragon's Breath, it's 5.1 meters, and this can be extended with some muzzle attachments like the Flash Twist 90 or the Quad Flash, or even some suppressors, but the Quad Flash and all that, those are generally the ones you want to use for the most range. Now, like I said, it's a little unforgiving because the time to kill does go up for every shot you miss by 400 milliseconds, so if it takes 3-shot, you're talking 800 milliseconds. If it's a 4-shot, 1200, so you can see why it starts to get pretty unforgiving and why maybe a lot of people don't really vibe well for it. And that's probably because they're running up to people, trying to get as close as they can, but they're maybe a little too far. They hip fire, they're just spraying like crazy. It's taking 4 or 5 shots. It just doesn't work super well like that. That's not how you should be using this gun in my opinion, which I'll get to how to use it soon, but this thing does by default only have 7 rounds, which is pretty good for most engagements considering it's like a 2 to 3-shot shotgun in most engagements you should be in. And there's a bug currently with a lot of the shotguns where if you have a big barrel to gain more shells or a smaller barrel to lose shells, it basically doesn't change. You still have the base ammo count when you load into a game, even though the firing range doesn't show it. When you load into a game, it's still going to be 7 shells versus 10, so just something to keep in mind. And this is a shell by shell reload, so it's pretty slow even with fast hands. Just keep that in mind, but most engagements, 2 to 3 shots is all you'll really need. So while this thing does have some really good potential up close, it can get a little bit harder to use at those longer ranges, speaking mainly of course out to like that 10-meter mark. But if there's one thing I want you guys to take away from this video, it's how to use this thing when you do use it. Because if you're like me, you haven't used this thing in a while, you go and pick it up and you're just kind of spamming around and you're just taking too many shots to kill, you're not getting that good time to kill, people are just deleting you. There's a certain way you have to play with it, and if I could sum it up easily, it would say treat this like it is mainly a pump action, and then only up close should you be spamming it. So in other words, maybe use it like 75% as a pump action, 25% as a spammy shotgun. It just doesn't have the luxury of being a Haymaker or a KV broadside to just spam away at distances like you can with those. Instead, you have to place your shots methodically. Go into cover, peek, get your 1 shot out, go back into cover and slide out, get your next shot out, go back into cover, yada yada. But the cherry on top is that when you're really close, if they push you around the corner, if you're just being really aggressive and you're super close, you can just spam as much as you can with this thing and get that 2-shot, that really quick 400 millisecond time to kill. And that's really how you should be using it. Treat it mainly like a pump action. So 7 meters away, hit your shot well, get out of cover, move, be as mobile as you can. Only treat it like a spammy shotgun when you're super, super close. That is how I've had the most success with this thing. And when I've been doing that, it's actually been very, very good. Now, it's not going to have the range of a normal pump action, but 10 meters is nothing to scoff at, and you can do some damage. But again, you got to stay moving, get in and out of cover, and then only spam it when you're really close. So again, 75% of the time, treat this like a pump. 25% of the time, treat it like a spammy shotgun, only really close. If you want to know what class I've been running, I've been rocking this one. We're rocking Dragon's Breath, of course, with that good 2-shot. I'm using the Flash Twist 90, which is going to take our 2-shot range up a little bit to the 5.7 meter mark, which is really nice. Then, of course, we're rocking the Expedite L-Bolt. This is non-negotiable. Always good to have this. The Resonance Stock Collapse to get some better sprint to fire and movement speed, and the Kimura Ryle Laser Light because this is great overall for a tight tack stance spread, but also for getting better handling with that sprint to fire speed. This is a great build. I recommend it always in tack stance because it's much better to control. The recoil on this thing can be a bit much if you're fully aiming down sights, so I recommend tack stance all the time. Now for my thoughts on the gun, I think it is widely misrepresented. I think that people just don't understand how to use it well, because once I understood that it's just not a traditional spamming type shotgun, it really did open doors for me to use this thing really well and to do a lot of damage in lobbies that I didn't think I could. Now I'm not dropping any nukes or anything, but that's just kind of my skill level. But this thing has some crazy potential, and in the right hands, it is going to be a god tier shotgun. Normally it'd be like a D tier shotgun if you're just kind of willy-nilly using it, but if you know how to use it, you can easily take it up to a B or A tier shotgun. It's really that good in my opinion. You just need to know how to use it, and that's the real secret to it and the real skill to using it. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. So as always, I want to know down below in the comments, what do you guys think about the Expedite? Do you think I'm talking it up way too much? Do you think it's not really that great? With all that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.